Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, another month has passed by, and as you can imagine, there's going to be even more updates when it comes to revenue tracking for gacha titles. And of course, we're always going to have that update that comes at the end of the month for an estimation of mobile revenue. And as more and more data has come out regarding these mobile charts, and companies have been a lot more open about what percentage of their sales come from mobile and what actually comes from like PC or console, we've been able to get a better and better picture of how most companies in the space are doing, using these projections alongside, of course, our ability to do some simple math. And what we're going to do today is, of course, take a look at all the different games in the gacha space, how they've landed, at least on the mobile side, talk a bit about what those numbers are going to mean as a whole for the games, and well, naturally, where the space is going. And along the way, we'll have plenty of opportunities to address numerous areas of misinformation, actually incorrect data, and help use that to curate the discussion moving forward so that you know where you're potentially getting misled. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get it started over here. And I actually find that viewing this chart from the top down is one of the most uncreative ways you can view this month's data. So we're actually going to be starting from the bottom up, actually from around spot number 50, just so that we can locate, well, the first game on this list from the bottom up, because it's going to be one that might throw you in for a bit of a loop. It might throw you in for a bit of a surprise. Yes, at rank number 35 over here, with a mobile projection of about 4.76 million, you're going to have Arknights Enfield. And so when it comes to Endfield and when it comes to other games, even like WooWar NTE, mobile typically makes up between 25 to 35%. 25 to 34% of a game's sales. So you can reliably actually multiply this number by like 2.5 to like 3.5. Somewhere between those lines. Like, yeah, I would say it's like, yeah, like maybe between 3 to 4. And you would notice that even if you take this mobile projection and then multiply it out to the whole, you would have around at maximum like 15 million for the game. That's less than just the mobile revenue last month. Even if you take these projections and you project it out to the whole, bro, this thing's at like 13 million, 14 million total across everything. Across mobile, across fucking PC, across console, everywhere. And that's not good. When the mobile projections for Enfield were higher than that alone on release date, in January, February, March, April, and now we're in May, and it's at the lowest recorded numbers ever. But that's not very surprising, is it? When you go ahead, you pop open Twitch tracker, it went down. You look at the metrics for this game, and you see that it's averaging 249 viewers across the week, 107 viewers, 3 viewers per channel, nothing too crazy. Just down from these massive numbers over here of 125k peak when the game released. Yes, sir, 125k peak. Imagine that. Because you're at about like 0.01% of where you normally were. This is what the actual viewership numbers are looking like. Like you can see that's the peak over here. Oh, sorry, it's more like 70k. Get a little bit of a bump up because you're paying people to play the game. And then you go back down to actual viewership numbers of about averaging a solid 40 on a good afternoon. Then you just see over here, yeah, no, Sekiro, Thanos snapped twice. That's what the viewership is looking like from May to June. Yeah, just down a whopping 72.6%. That is literally Thanos snapping twice, by the way. That got halved to 1,000, then halved again to 500. This shit is cooked. This game is so fucking bad, it's unbelievable. And the fact that you can't see a single person streaming this game or uploading videos of this game unless they're paid to stream it or they're paid to make the videos should be enough to let you know this is probably the biggest rug pull in gacha history. Just from the like metrics, engagement, like ability for a CC to build a career around this game, it's a rug pull there. But it just so happens this game is also a fucking rug pull on the revenue side as well. Because even if you account for mobile just being a piece of the pie, bro, this is a really small fucking pie. There's no way, even if you go in with the full knowledge of how mobile projections, how it's a portion of the revenue, how all that works, this is still very, very, very low revenue. And it's an awful look for a game that just came out like 4 fucking months ago. 4 months ago. And you want to know the worst part about all of this? How you know this shit is undeniably completely fucked? Guys, I looked at Wuthering Waves' mobile projections. Their mobile revenue from September 2024. The update where they gave out Zhang Liao for free. Bro, it made the same amount of money, mobile projection-wise, as Enfield 1.2. Bro, the Wuthering Waves update 1.2, where they gave out a free 5-star character, Zhang Liao, made basically the same amount of money as Enfield this entire fucking month of May. But, like, they didn't give out no free character here. It's just nobody spent money on the fucking game because it's bad as fuck. It's pathetic to see where this is. It's pathetic to realize that this is going to drop down and probably fade into obscurity within the next couple of months. I said that this game was going to die within months after release. I said numerous times this game needed a relaunch fast. A relaunch in 1.1 and at 1.2 latest. None of that shit happened. The devs didn't listen. Their egos are insane, and they're driving this game into the fucking ground. And now you're seeing the lowest revenue numbers probably ever seen for a game of this size in history, followed by the lowest viewership numbers I think I've ever seen for a game of this size in fucking history. And of course, to just round it all out, hey, let's take a look at the Google Trends, because we all love taking a look at those. Oh, we're going down, down, down on a merry-go-round. I didn't even know this was possible, bro. Like, I'm looking at Endfield across the past 3 months. Wait, why is this look? What am I even looking at here? There you go. There you go. It's just, it physically can't get any lower. That's essentially what I'm trying to tell you. This game can't, like, go any lower. Every day it pushes a new boundary. The final frontier of how shit a game can be. You discover it every day, as long as this game's still in service. With that aside, it's time to move on to the next game. I think I've explained enough about Arknights Enfield, its results, and why it's like this in the first place. And I guess specifics when it comes to the banner. Their Zhuang Fengyi banner, she looks like shit. Her gameplay's fucking awful. You don't even know what's going on when you play her. Her banner was 32 days, and then they decided to have reruns afterwards. So I guess there's not enough people that give a fuck about reruns in this game, and also nobody that really cared about Zhuang Fengyi, so nobody pulled anything, and that's why this game's gonna die. Also, the game sucks. So yeah, no, I think I've already explained it enough over there. So the funny thing over here, though, is taking a look at where Enfield is now, where it was before, and all of the games that have, well, beat it on the mobile side for this month. And this is where the second part of the fun really comes in. Let's see who mogged Enfield. Cookie Run Kingdom. Marvel Contest of Champions. Azure Lane. Beyond the World, just China. Yeah. Arknights Enfield combined, global NC just got beat by just China. I don't even know what this is. Light and Night. Ooh. Hatsune Miku Colorful Stage. Infinity Blicky. Chaos Zero Night. This was actually the best test. Which game has more views? Enfield or CZN? That's the real test over here. Oh, it's a close race. Oh, it's a close race, brother. Oh, man. Oh, man. I can't... And when you realize that CZN is a game that peaked at 8K on release. It peaked at 8K. It's averaging now the same number of viewers as the game that peaked at like fucking 100 something. It doesn't even make sense to me. Yeah, then you got verse 1999. Dragon Quest Smash Grow. You got mogged by Dragon Quest Smash Grow. Anyways, 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, the 7th anniversary. And then, ladies and gentlemen, the prodigal son returns. We got Zenless Zone Zero at 9.3. So remember all the stuff that I said before about mobile projections? This is likely 25 to 35% of ZZZ's total revenue, if not less, if not more. That's still not a lot of revenue for Zenless Zone Zero. Yeah, you all know at this point, even though it's just mobile, when you see a projection that's between like 4 and like 10 million, for a game that's like of Endfield, ZZZ, Hoyo size, you know that's not a good look. And yes, I know, ZZZ has its new region coming up, but this is 2 patches in a row of them looking like they're getting absolutely fucking shit on. And while ZZZ appears to have more staying power than Enfield, it didn't manage to drop any lower. Bro, I don't know anyone that's actually excited about the future path of this game. Even when I stream this game nowadays to like shit on it, I don't even get the haters anymore, because even they quit. The people that hate on me and shield ZZZ, they don't even hate on me anymore because they quit ZZZ. Bro, it's just sad. It's just a little bit depressing to see where this game has gone, because they don't know what they're doing. Bro, they don't know what they're doing anymore, and I don't think the players even know what they're doing playing this game anymore. And like, bro, I forgot to even mention this, but 3.0 is also the game's anniversary, but 2.0, the game's first anniversary, was so fucking bad, I don't even see anyone slightly hyped for ZZZ's second anniversary 3.0. Bro, I forgot he was even happening. Bro, I didn't even see anyone mention anything about it, because of course they know 2.0 was so bad. 3.1 is the ZZZ anniversary? Well then why the fuck did they give out all the free shit during 2.0? Wait, why the fuck did they give out all the free shit and like the free 5-star and the W engine during 2.0? If 3.1 is the anniversary. No, 2.1 was the fucking... No, 2.1 was the Yuzuha patch. You guys are retarded idiots. Anyways, don't listen to my chat. Nobody, as you can see, nobody in this community plays EZZ, so we're all just saying a bunch of shit that doesn't make sense. All right, now, moving on. Yeah, no, they're on 2.8. They got Promia and, like, Billy, but nobody gives a fuck about them because Promia looks like a prostitute and Billy has a penis, even though he's a robot. Anyways, moving on. Let's see what beat Enfield, and let's see what beat ZZZ. Puzzles and Dragons, Battle Cats, Uma Musume, Pretty Derby, Idolmaster, Dragon Ball Legends, Monster Strike, FGO. Imagine playing FGO in 2026. Bro, that's basically the same as saying that, like, yeah, playing FGO in 2026, it's like they should have like a way to scan that your phone has this and it's active activity. It's like that would be an alternative to like mental asylums. You'd just be able to find out who actively plays FGO in your country and just put them on a list. And then you'll know, like, hey, whenever there's like a suspect for like, I don't know, like some sort of like mass murder, you know exactly who to look for ASAP. Straight up, because you gotta be deranged. There's gotta be something actually wrong with you to non-sarcastically, like out of pure like joy and want to play FGO in 2026. What is your fucking issue, man? What's wrong with you? I'm just gonna be honest. There's so much better shit to play. Bro, there's so much better shit to play. This is what it's like. It's like in the fucking era of like Kindles and reading shit online, you decided to like read books that are written on fucking papyrus, like that fucking Egyptian paper from like 2000 BC. Like that's the type of shit that like you're having fun with while everyone else is on like is like reading tablets. That's FGO in 2026. The dark ages of fucking gacha. Anyways, yeah, this shit should be at 0. Why the fuck is it even up here? This shit is embarrassing. Now, we got probably one of the most controversial games on the list over here. Neverness to Everness. Because a lot of people are going to take a look at some of the data that we're seeing and get a bit of a misconception about what is going on. NTE over here is showing an increase to 22.5 million month over month from 6.7 million before. This is not what you think it is. Across the months of, at least on mobile, right? April and May. The game launched for about 1 day in April and 30 days in May. Across 60 days, it earned about $30 million on mobile. So that's 15 per month on mobile. So this is the total, these two combined over 60 days. And, well, there have been some NTE haters that have been providing some facts. And even though they're provided by haters, well, I've got to go ahead and I've got to take a look at the facts. So these are the first 2 months of Arknights Enfield. Actually, the game that we just saw that has one of the most diabolical fall-offs in gacha history. Arknights Enfield, in its first 2 months, made via Sensor Tower, right? That 54 million. NTE across its first 2 is at 29, adding those two together. And then Wuthering Waves was at 72. That is, like, literally what the first 2 months is signifying over here, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. And so, sorry, I messed up. This isn't actually across the first 2 months. It's across the first 2 months in Sensor Tower. It's not across the last 60 days. It's more so across the last, like, 33 days, 34 days or some shit like that. I don't really know. But that's essentially what it's looking like. And as you can see, that's kind of not at... That's at maybe Endfield pace. But that's debatable, because once people start seeing shit like this in the game, I don't know how much this game is going to grow. This is kind of like the issue. NTE is one of those games that's becoming worse with time, because they actually have released their 1.1 main story, and they just copied Wuthering Waves. I don't even know what else to say. They just copied Wuthering Waves. And that's... Maybe this is something that would, like, work out well in one universe, but I don't think it works out well in this one, because people kind of see this and they're like, yeah, this game looks like they just copied everything from somebody else. And in this space, being seen as, like, the thief over here in this manner, where you're copying it, and on top of copying it, you're making it look worse at the same time, it's not really a good look. And in all honesty, this game is probably going to have a lot of similarities drawn to it to Arknights Enfield. And when you know, based off of the track record, right, where Arknights Enfield is in just a very, very, very short... Guys, this game released basically in February. This game released at the end of January. It's been like 4 fucking months. It doesn't take a lot to fall in this space. That much is a fact. And when I see stuff like this doesn't inspire a lot of confidence in me. I don't look at this and I'm suddenly now like, oh, I really believe in the vision. I believe in the vision that these developers have. Is anyone saying that? No, you're not. I think the most positive emotion you can evoke over here is, like, skepticism at the very least, right? I don't think there's any positive take you can have about this, because it just looks like fucking woo-wah. Like, and it looks too much like woo-wah. It's like, it's concerning. And you know that's true. Because this just means, what else are they going to copy, bro? Are they already out of inspiration? Are we about to see the Exostrider in version 1.2? Bro, they already copied Rossi, they already copied Alpha, and they already copied Fraxidus. Bro, it's only been one update. Bro, it's only been one update. And the Venn diagram between NT and Woo-Wah, it's a circle. So yeah, that's the situation going on over here with this game. And like I said before, more comparable to Endfield than NT is to other titles. And my personal take is this, ladies and gentlemen. I would not be surprised if this big chunk that you're seeing over here, a majority of it is on, like, day 1. I would not be surprised if a majority of this was in, like, the first couple of days of May. And then the spending really tapered off as the month went by. And I would not be surprised if next month we're looking like Zenless Zone Zero or Endfield. That's my personal take. I would not be surprised if it looks like ZZZ or Endfield next month. Now, moving up, we've got some of the most interesting discoveries over here. Arknights mobile-wise, make it about 9 times as much than Enfield. Maybe 8 times as much money as Enfield, regular Arknights. Yeah, this is like your older brother becomes a vegetable. That's what I gotta assume, right? Or wait, no, I guess Arknights is the older brother, Enfield's the younger one. Nah, your parents have a second pregnancy and the kid has Down syndrome. Now, that's more so the accurate comparison. Yeah, no, Enfield is the kid that with Down syndrome. I don't know what else to say. Like, think about what you're doing in AKE 1.2. You playing with sewage. You're literally working with sewage and doo-doo water. That's pretty, like, anyways. Moving on. You can see Enfield, you can see Arknights is doing really good, probably at the cost of, like, Enfield selling its soul. Maybe Enfield was, like, one of, like, those like, insane good Samaritans. They were like, I'll die so that Arknights can live. Maybe, like, that was, like, the exchange that, like, happened in, like, some back room somewhere, and that's why we're seeing this right now. Anyways, fucking ridiculous. And now, the big three. Or really, the big three of the biggest gacha drama that's gonna be occurring right now. You got Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, and Wuthering Waves taking spots 2, 3, and 4, while a bunch of Fujoshis win number 1. We don't need to talk about them. You already know what's going on over here with Leva D Space. So, first things first. There might be some misinformation afoot. There might be some incorrect data. There might be some odd assumptions that are being made over here. So let's first talk about where that's getting sourced from. So, apparently Sensor Tower, global Sensor Tower, only global for some reason, seems to have heavily underreported Wuthering Waves this month. And there's actually proof that Sensor Tower underreported Wuthering Waves. So I gathered some data from Don. The website is public, it has English, so everyone can check for themselves. And so Don, a CN website that checks revenue, right, is noting that Wuwa is actually second place. Genshin is out on top because Genshin Impact players are mentally ill. But then Wuwa was actually second, and then HSR was third, and then NTE's all the way down here, and then ZZZ and Endfield. Right, so the Chinese website clearly has the same exact placements of all these games, except Wuwa's over HSR. Right, you can see over here, right, the bottom was Endfield, ZZZ, then NTE. Everything else is the same. But then over here, when we take a look at this data, right, HSR is kind of beating Wuwa handily. Which doesn't make that much sense, especially when you consider what's been happening in the Wuthering Waves update. Yes, HSR might be on the tail end of its anniversary patch, guys, but what do we have in Wuwa? Oh yeah, we had 2 sort of must-pull banners. Some could say Denya's very skippable, but then I guess we also have like this. But this is also the thing. The spending during this update is really interesting because chances are you didn't actually need to buy those packages. And one of the reasons for why you didn't really need to buy those packages was because they had so many fucking pulls in 3.3, it was ridiculous. Yeah, no, I think it was close to around like 100 pulls in Astrite and then a bunch of like other resources, right, that you were able to get. And the end result was that you kind of save these. Like, I didn't need to purchase these to get what I wanted in this patch, so I'm kind of saving these for the collab. You kind of did get a free 5-star from the number of pulls that were available during this anniversary. So, that could be one of the reasons. However, that still doesn't necessarily explain how you get such a big delta over here, where it's like, Wuwa, again, everything looks the exact same, and then you're also seeing that on the CN server alone, it's generating an estimated 26 million for May. Yeah, that doesn't really seem to line up, does it? Yeah, I don't think Global made just 8 million this patch. Do you kind of see what's going on over here? Every single CN avenue, right, where you can gather this data, every single CN website seems to be saying that the revenue from Wuthering Waves is way higher. And everything else seems to be lining up. So, like, what exactly is going on over here? Because you can see over here, this is what it's looking like in CN on Sensor Tower. Yeah, it's just showing like a 4 where you're seeing like, again, like 20 millions elsewhere. It's a bit of an issue, right? It's a bit of an issue because what do you see above HSR in pretty much all the different reportings of this revenue? Basically, every outlet in CN, right? Every outlet in CN is saying Wuwa is second, Genshin's Nicole is number 1, and then Everness is third. But then here, just for this one occasion, our shit got cooked again. So you can probably see what's going on over here, right? These two should probably be switched. And Wuthering Waves, during its 2nd anniversary, even with the most generous patch pull-wise they've ever had, and their insane Cyberpunk collaboration where most of the spending is actually going to happen in the next patch, Wuthering Waves is effectively 2nd or 3rd, depending on how you view these lists. And remember what we talked about when it comes to these projections. Wuwa falls into the category of one of those games where mobile's like 25 to 35% of the revenue. For Genshin, mobile is like actually like closer to 50-60 because Genshin has way more mobile players. HSR, also a similar bucket, closer to 50-60. That's because games like Wuwa, games like ZZZ, they're not really that good to play on the phone. I guess NTE falls under that bucket as well. And so a majority of those players actually spend on the platform that they play on, the PC. Because it's much better to play ZZZ, Wuwa, NTE on the PC. Genshin, HSR, doesn't really matter as much. So, when you see a game like Wuwa, or a game like ZZZ, or a game like NTE, or maybe even Endfield 2, we don't really talk about that one that much anymore, posting numbers like this, just know that if Wuwa and Genshin were at the same numbers over here, Wuwa's probably actually making more money that month. Because again, that's just how percentages and projections work. Again, guys, I'm just using fucking basic math over here. If you disagree with me, that means you probably didn't graduate from middle school. So yeah. As you can see, an impressive month all around. Where we're finally starting to see some of the true colors for these games that I've been saying have been complete shit. Do you know how cathartic it is to have been calling this game hot, steaming fucking garbage for 3 fucking months, and it is now failing in every single metric possible? What is the argument now, Enfield players? You are low revenue, you are low viewers, you are low views, you are low videos, you are low in everything. How is the game good? Tell me. What is the goalpost shift now? How is the game good? I'm excited to see that. Leave it in the comments below. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.